Now, of course, you know, and I certainly know how much I believe in Shedeur Sanders, who I thought should have gone number 1 in this year's draft. And you know how much I believe the NFL tried to teach Shedeur and teach his father, Deion, a big, bad lesson by blackballing or whiteballing him as Shedeur fell all the way into the 5th round, where Cleveland finally took Shedeur 50 picks after the Browns had already taken Dylan Gabriel, who, of course, also plays quarterback. Not to mention the Browns already had Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett and, of course, Deshaun Watson in their quarterback room and on their roster. And now Matt Miller is saying the Browns will be the NFL's worst team and will still be looking for their franchise quarterback with the first overall pick next year. If Matt Miller is right, then I don't know. I'd have to assume Shedeur would have to beat out Dylan Gabriel to be Klubnik's backup as they go forward. Unless, of course, the Browns just say we've got to remove any young threat to Klubnik. And if they just kept Joe Flacco as mentor backup quarterback at age 41, I guess they could go that direction. The point is, this really shook me up to see a projection of the Browns taking their quarterback of the future next year when I thought Shedeur Sanders would be the Titans or the Giants or maybe the Saints quarterback of the future this year, right here, right now. Man, what a mountain Shedeur Sanders is now going to have to climb.
All right, NFL fans, buckle up because we're diving into one of the wildest draft stories of the year. Picture this Shedeur Sanders, the kid who's been lighting up college football, the quarterback with ice in his veins and a cannon for an arm, gets passed over. Not just for the first pick, not just for the first round, but all the way to the 5th round, the 147th pick, behind Dylan Gabriel, to a team that's already got 4 quarterbacks on the roster. Are you kidding me? This ain't just a draft slip. It's a straight-up statement, and it's got Deion Sanders' name written all over it, too. Let's break it down. If you've been sleeping on Shedeur Sanders, let me wake you up. This kid isn't just another college QB with a famous last name. He's the real deal, a franchise-altering, locker room-shifting, Sunday-ready signal caller. We've all seen the tape. The arm strength, elite. The poise under pressure, veteran level. The leadership. Man, this guy walks onto the field, and you feel the energy change. At Colorado, Shedeur wasn't just playing ball, he was rewriting the script. Behind an offensive line that, let's be honest, was more like a turnstile than a wall, he still slung it for over 200 yards and 27 touchdowns. He was making split-second decisions, threading needles in coverage, and doing it all with a swagger that screams, I'm that guy. This wasn't just a Saturday star. This was a quarterback built for the big stage. NFL Sundays, prime time lights, the whole deal. So how does a guy like that, with those numbers, that tape, and that pedigree fall to the 5th round? It doesn't add up unless you start looking at what's really going on behind the scenes. Because this wasn't about stats, combined drills, or scheme fit. This was about something bigger. This was the NFL sending a message, not just to Shedeur, but to his dad, Deion, Coach Prime Sanders. Let's keep it 100. Deion Sanders isn't just a coach or a Hall of Famer. He's a disruptor. The man doesn't play by the NFL's unwritten rules. He's loud, he's proud, and he's not afraid to shake things up. When his boys, Shedeur and his brother, light it up on the field, Deion makes sure the world knows. He's not whispering in the group chat, he's shouting it from the rooftops. And that kind of energy, it ruffles feathers in the NFL's old-school boardrooms. The league likes its quarterbacks a certain way, humble, buttoned up, and easy to control. Shedeur Sanders, he's none of that. He's got confidence for days, a voice that carries, and a dad who's going to be courtside, sidelines for every snap, every presser, every moment. Deion's not just a proud papa, he's a one-man hype machine, and the NFL suits aren't here for it. So when draft day rolled around, it stopped being about football, it turned into politics. And the NFL's message was loud and clear: we're going to teach Shedeur and his dad a lesson. Call it blackballing, whiteballing, whatever you want. The point is, they let Shedeur slide, past the Titans, who need a young QB to build around, past the Saints, who are desperate for a spark, past the Giants, who are still searching for their guy, all the way to pick 147, to the Cleveland Browns. Now, let's talk about Cleveland, because this is where it gets nuts. The Browns didn't just draft Shedeur. They drafted him after taking Dylan Gabriel 50 picks earlier. They've already got Deshaun Watson locked in on a mega deal. They've got Kenny Pickett, They've got Joe Flacco, the 40-year-old veteran who's still slinging it. That's 4 quarterbacks on the roster. 4! So why, in the name of Jim Brown, did they pick Shedeur? Was this a stash move? A way to bury him on the depth chart? A way to say, hey kid, you're not running this show? Because let's be real, what kind of path does Shedeur have in Cleveland? NFL draft guru Matt Miller dropped a hot take recently, projecting the Browns to be the worst team in the league next year, dead last, with the number 1 pick in 2026. And you know what he said? He said they'd be looking for their franchise quarterback. Read that again. They've got Shedeur Sanders in the building, and they're acting like he doesn't exist. That's not a coincidence. That's a choice. If Miller's right, and the Browns tank hard enough to grab the top pick, what happens to Shedeur? Does he have to battle Dylan Gabriel just to be QB2? Does he get cut? Or worse, does he sit on the bench, collecting dust behind Watson, Pickett, or even a 41-year-old Flacco who they'll probably keep around as the safe veteran presence? It's like they're setting him up to fade away. But here's the thing, Shedeur Sanders doesn't fade, he fights. This is a kid who followed his dad to Colorado and stepped into the brightest spotlight in college football. He faced doubters every single week, critics who said he was just Deion's son, defenses that blitzed him into next Tuesday, and an offensive line that left him running for his life. And what did he do? He threw for 200 yards. He dropped 27 touchdowns. He kept his cool, played with heart, and showed the kind of control most NFL vets would kill for. You think a crowded quarterback room is going to scare him? Please. Shedeur's been climbing mountains his whole career. He's not just fighting for a roster spot, he's fighting for a legacy. And he's got a 5th-round chip on his shoulder that's going to fuel him every step of the way. Think about Tom Brady, drafted 99th overall, a nobody out of Michigan who turned into the G8. Now imagine Brady with social media, with swagger, with a Hall of Fame dad hyping him up, and with a whole culture riding for him. That's Shedeur Sanders. The NFL didn't just draft a quarterback, they drafted a movement. Let's talk about what Shedeur brings to the table, because the tape doesn't lie. Arm strength, check. Pinpoint accuracy, check. Pocket presence, check. He's got the touch to drop dimes over linebackers, the toughness to take hits and keep slinging, and the smarts to read defenses like a 10-year vet. He's mobile enough to escape pressure, but disciplined enough to stay in the pocket and make the right throw. Timing, anticipation, protection adjustments. He's got the full toolbox. So what's the problem? Oh, right. The NFL wants him to know his place. They want him to be grateful, to keep his head down, to say, lies, sir, to every GM and coach. But that's not Shedeur. He knows his worth. He knows what's up. And he's not about to play small to make the league comfortable. Right now, while the media is hyping up Dylan Gabriel or debating who Cleveland's QB of the future is, Shedeur's in the film room. He's putting in work, building chemistry with his teammates, learning the playbook inside and out. He's not whining about the draft slide. He's grinding. And when his shot comes, whether it's week 4, week 10, or next season after the Browns inevitably implode, he's going to be ready. This isn't new, folks. The NFL's got a history of this. They doubted Lamar Jackson, said he should play wide receiver. They doubted Jalen Hurts, called him a backup at best. They doubted CJ Stroud, thought he couldn't handle the pressure. They always doubt the guys who don't fit the mold, the ones who bring something different, something bold. And every time, those guys prove them wrong. Shedeur Sanders isn't just out to prove the doubters wrong. He's out to prove us right. The fans who saw his potential before the draft, who believed in him when he slid, and who know he's got what it takes to rise. The NFL might not be ready for Shedeur Sanders, but guess what? He's here now, and he's coming for everything they said he couldn't have. So where does this leave us? The Browns are a mess, and Shedeur's stuck in the middle of it. But if there's one thing we know about this kid, it's that he thrives in chaos. He's been doubted before. He's been counted out. And every single time, he's come back stronger. Maybe Cleveland's plan is to stash him, to quiet him, to keep him in the shadows. But you can't keep a star like Shedeur Sanders under wraps for long. The fans are watching. The culture's watching. Every throw he makes in training camp, every rep he takes in practice is going to be dissected, shared, and hyped up on social media. His story's not over. It's just getting started. And when he gets his shot, because he will get his shot, the NFL is going to see what we've known all along. Shedeur Sanders isn't just a quarterback, he's a force. He's a leader, he's a legacy, and no 5th-round draft slot, no crowded QB room, no league politics can change that. So let's keep it real, America. The NFL tried to send a message. They tried to put Shedeur and Deion in their place. But all they did was light a fire. And when that fire catches, it's going to burn the whole league down. What do you think, fam? Did the NFL sleep on Shedeur Sanders? Is he the next big thing? Or did the Browns make the right call? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button if you're riding with Shedeur, and subscribe for more NFL takes that cut through the noise. This is your boy, breaking it down like only we can. Peace!